Welcome to another edition of College Football Time with Avry Miguel. So, Avry, Ohio State, Penn State, what do you got?
This is a really interesting game because Ohio State is running on all cylinders at this point. And Penn State, they had this really tough loss against Michigan a couple weeks ago. So Penn State needs to get back into it. And the fact that they're playing at home is working for them. However, Ohio State, CJ Stroud, they're just running on everything. They're averaging about 50 points a game. They're only allowing 14. Their total yards are over 500. They allow barely 240 yards. And the main thing is their defense. Ohio State's defense is just stellar right now. So Penn State, they're playing at home, even though it's an afternoon game. They're going to try and bring that intensity for their team. But I think Ohio State is just too strong with all their weapons. CJ Stroud, early Heisman candidate at this point, which I think is a good thing for the school. So this might be cut and dry with Ohio State taking it 40-21. Ohio State just has too many weapons, but Penn State's probably going to push maybe at least the first half, but Ohio State's probably going to run away with it.
I agree. Both teams have good defense, but I just think that Ohio State has too many weapons, like you said. I have them winning 37-23 in this game. The matchup is exciting, but Ohio State is just too much.
You got it. You're exactly right, Miguel.
Florida versus Georgia. Georgia, as we know, has an impeccable offense, and Florida's biggest Achilles heel is their defense. So who do you got for that game?
Miguel, this is a weird matchup because when I started my research, Georgia's listed as the home team, but they're playing in Jacksonville. And for some reason, this does not make sense. So Florida wants to try and bounce back. They had a really good start. They beat LSU, but nothing has been clicking for them. So Georgia, like Ohio State, they have all these weapons. Stetson Bennett is from the opening of college football season. Stetson Bennett has been like go-to. If you're talking about a Heisman Trophy candidate, he's in the talk as well. Quarterbacks always have that Heisman talk capability, especially because he's doing so well. Georgia, they average 40 points a game. They barely allow 10 points. Their total offense is over 500 yards per game. They're passing, they're rushing. Their defense is reminiscent of the old steel curtain. They barely allow 100 yards for rushing. But Florida, if they can get their running game on point, if they can get their receivers to do it, they could try and chip away at Georgia's armor. Missouri nearly did it about a month ago. So Georgia's not invincible. They can, their armor can be cracked a bit. So Florida just is going to find ways in order to crack into that armor. They can probably do it in the rushing game, but they need to do it fast. They need to do it hard. And it's going to be the running game, I think, could be the difference. But Georgia has a lot of power, with the ball and against the ball. So Florida just needs to figure out how to get that run game going. They can just push Georgia's defense, and Florida has a shot. But Georgia, I think, just has too much. And I can see it being close, but I could also see it being a runaway game. So as much as I don't want to, I'm going to have to go with Georgia, and I'm going to have to give them a 45-20 score.
Close enough. I have it 41-21 in favor of Georgia. The thing is, with teams like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, you can't afford to make no mistakes. You have to be pedal to the metal in order to beat those guys. That's what Tennessee was able to do with Alabama. So
You're exactly right. Georgia, with their little, with their little Missouri scare last month, they know, they can be cracked. And you're right. Tennessee figured it out with Alabama. Can Florida do the same? Not sure, but like we say, just like we saw in the NFL, any given Saturday, Florida, it could be their day. Georgia, it could be, something as simple as a missed kick or a blocked punt, and the game can shift. So it's going to be an interesting game. And like I said, they're playing in Jacksonville, but Georgia is the home team. But I don't see them having a home crowd. Gainesville is probably an hour and a half from Jacksonville. So a lot of Gator fans are going to show up for their team, and that could make a difference, because with a lot of crowds, especially college football, the crowd can turn it around for you.